Welcome, Monk lovers. We fixed every problem the Monk has: mana regeneration, survivability, and bursty damage in the endgame. You just reached level 65 plus, entered mapping, and are kinda lost on how to process now, how to make yourself stronger. I'm here to give you all the answers. What am I playing now in the background? It's the Hollow Palm technique, Shattering Palm, Ice Strike, Falling Thunder, Super Critical, Burst Monk. The character is solo self-found, nothing was bought from the market. This is probably the most realistic thing that you can achieve with the normal game time. The build has 3 layers of clear. We get our Ice Strike for clapping everything, then our Shattering Palm for area clear, and our Falling Thunder for super boss nukes. On top, we have an invisible power charge generating technique that's quite amazing. Gameplay wise, you're going to engage with Shattering Palm to apply the ice crystals. Ice Strike, bum, 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 bum. Everything chain explodes. This especially works well for the Abyss. As soon as the people start pulling out of it, Shattering Palm in, Ice Strike, and the whole area just dies. The Elite comes out, oh, he just gets mass exploded. If he actually survives it, put the bell on his head and then boom, 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 just finish him off. We also do have our charge staff that we use in between to get ourselves a bit more range and add that lightning damage to the fray. And then we have Falling Thunder. And Falling Thunder is quite intriguing for the build, since usually you throw the skill away after you get your Ice Strike and never touch it again. But Falling Thunder says one interesting thing, and that would be 50% more damage per power charge consumed, and also 100% more damage if a power charge was consumed. That with 5, 6, 8 power charges, it's another 400% more damage with a 100% more damage, and then the absolute amazing amount of crit it can do, because we're sitting currently at 60% crit chance with a 453% crit bonus. And that's with solo cell phone, not marketable gear. With marketable gear, you can easily get that 100% crit chance. I'm not joking. Yes, 100% crit chance is easy possible. And then nuke bosses with one hits. I mostly take out half their HP, sometimes 70% of their HP. But yeah, that's just me on my solo cell phone gear. You with the market, you'll blast them even faster. Before we now get into the support gems and the survival, a quick refresher on Hollow Palm technique. It allows us to use attacks as if we're using a quarterstaff. Our damage is scaling with the skill level, so the higher the skill level is, 20, even more, the bigger the damage will be, and that's our main scaling. And then we get more attack speed per evasion rating on equipped gear, and we get more critical hit chance per energy shield. My helmet, for example, has 330 energy shield and 30% increased critical hit chance. Right now we're sitting at 70%. Without the helmet, it's 48.31%. My gloves have 75 energy shield. That's only 5% more, but it's still 5% more. My chest alone is 20% crit chance. That energy shield is really mattering, on top of obviously the evasion rating with the amazing 5.13 attacks per second, and that would be 3.88 without the evasion rating. You get the drift. You want both as high as possible. Our Ice Strike for maximum damage is playing Rage 3. This gets us faster up to full Rage with a bonus attack speed, on top of rapid attacks. More attack speed is just king for the Ice Strike Monk, since if the enemy can't fight back, they can't do damage to you. Elemental Armament boosts us heavily as well, and then we are playing Crescendo 2, not Crescendo 3. Crescendo 2 allows us to use the final combo of the attack chain twice, and every attack that's not the final strike is another 15% boosted, so we get more final strikes. Really useful. As our last gem, we play Pinpoint Critical. Now, that will reduce our critical strike damage, right? We're at 353%. But without it, we are only at 44.01% critical strike chance. Now, if I had better gear, a helmet with 600 energy shield, gloves with 150, a chest with 500 energy shield, I would have way more critical hit chance, and I would not need pinpoint critical. With the right amount of critical strike chance, you could play super critical. It's a small reduction, but it's another 100% increased critical strike damage bonus. In my case, that would reduce me to 35.21%, but bring us up to 453% bonus damage. Now, Ice Strike can sometimes be a bit short of a skill, and you feel like you're not reaching every enemy, even with that Crescendo double kick. And for that, we have Charge Staff. But in order to use Charge Staff, you need power charges. And usually, that would be Combat Frenzy. The problem with Combat Frenzy is you need skill points in the Resonance Keystone, and it doesn't work against bosses, since if I freeze a boss, I get one single power charge, and that's just not enough. How are we now making power charges? By simply existing. And that is with Wind Dancer. Wind Dancer gives us evasion rating, and if an enemy hits us, they're getting rebuffed. Now, we're going to give Wind Dancer the chance to build up combo points. This won't be visible anywhere, but Wind Dancer is consistently building up combo points as you just attack things. And then with Aeless Chimes, 10% chance to gain a power charge when expanding combo with supported skills per combo expended. This chance can exceed 100%. And lastly, we're playing blind. To blind our enemies, should put a blind 2 on. Now this has us zoom over the map with Wind Dancer. And you will inevitably get hit at some point. Then you get 2, 3, sometimes 5, sometimes even 8 power charges. I can have a maximum of that available. And boom, charge staff activated for 30, 40 seconds. And against a boss, you get hit by the boss. You let yourself get hit by the boss one single time. Build up the massive amount of combo charges, and then can retaliate with a Falling Thunder. It's a very nice combo that happens automatic. And I don't have to use, for example, a Hand of Shayula with a Culmination and the Aeless Chime to in between then use the Hand of Shayula to build up combo points. Now I just exist, I zoom over the map, and I get power charges in boss fights and in normal fights. Our charge staff is having the prolonged duration, so we don't have to continuously spend all our power charges. We can actually keep them to nuke some elites and for bosses, obviously. Then Elemental Armament 2, and we had Shock for the increased chance to shock, because we were playing the Herald of Thunder, but as you can see, the Herald of Thunder is gone, which has me put Innervate on the whole thing. Then we get our Shattering Palm, the skill that zooms us forward. Now, the damage is not as amazing as the Ice Strike damage. We still have the explosion, and that does quite a good one. Shattering Palm can't be evaded. That's why we're playing Overreach for a 40% bonus area of effect, then Elemental Armament, and most importantly, Ancestral Call. Now, you won't be getting the bonus damage from Ancestral Call. No 30% bonus damage for you, but you will hit 2 additional targets. And this truly helps in these situations where you dash forward, 3 targets are being hit, and then the whole screen just explodes in icy explosions. We talked about the Wind Dancer, then we get the Herald of Ice together with Cold Attunement, a Magnified Area 1. I don't want to go for 2, and then we get Elemental Focus as well, as the skill cannot freeze anyways, therefore it just does more elemental damage. This gets followed up by Elemental Conflux, and here you see we need quite some spirit. This is 30, 30, 100, and down here is Ghost Dance as well. Elemental Conflux will boost one element by 54%. We do all elements. We do fire, we do ice, we do lightning. And if you quality this up, it's another 10% on top. This is quite the amazing damage going up. I mean, mine is jumping from 20,000 Ice Strike damage with ice, then to 30,000 Ice Strike damage. It makes a difference. And then we still have the Rage build up with 30 Rage for another 30% damage multiplier. Plus all the critical striking. Final spirit ability is the Ghost Dance together with Compressed Duration, and Ghost Dance at this point gives us back 637 energy shield if we get hit. More evasion rating would be better. My boots currently have only 285. I know boots can have 700 to 800 evasion rating at this point. That would be vastly better for our Ghost Dance. My chest could be at over 1,000 evasion rating. If I then would go for the market or get extremely lucky, I could have an amulet that boosts energy shield percentage and evasion rating. You see where this is going. I play solo self-found. If you mark it, you'll be even better off than I am right now. Let's get to the Falling Thunder. Falling Thunder is playing Ambrosia. This will soak up some of my Mana Flask charges, and you want to have a Mana Flask with as many charges as possible for bonus lightning damage. Then Super Critical and Pinpoint Critical. This puts it at a 56.81% crit chance with 453% bonus damage. And the final one being Close Combat 2, supported skills deal 30% more damage to enemies within 1 meter of you. Since we're only using this as we're in the opponent, we don't use this on range. Falling Thunder is really just there to be used against bosses. Again, get the power charges from being hit by the boss, and then expand it to bam, nuke him away. This can lead to one hits. Obviously, the stronger you are, the better gear you have, the more potent it will be. You can also use it while mapping, especially against the Abyss bosses, the annoying ones with the double spears, or the alien-like ones that spew out the case damage. They hit you, you get the power charges, you just delete 2 or 3 of them with one single hit. Even if you don't have power charges, the skill still does 20,000 damage together with a 30% increase and the 453% bonus. Make sure that inevitable critical gets the time to charge fully up so you can land that super hit. Lastly, we do still have the Tempest Bell, as it just simply doesn't hurt to have. Together with Elemental Armament, Culling Strikes 2, and also Close Combat 2. Yes, I don't even have these two updated. And we're using the Bell in between for very sturdy elites that just refuse to die, against bosses every now and then if the Falling Thunder did just not destroy them. It simply doesn't hurt to have the Bell with you. You put it down, you Shattering Palm into it, and then you just beat up the Bell. Can put it on the Abyss if you want to, right in the middle, enemies start spawning, and the Bell pretty much radiates out, destroying them all. It's a nice bonus DPS that you get lying around, and you do fire damage, and you do ice damage, and you do lightning damage. Why not have it? Now, we already mentioned Wind Dancer and Ghost Dance for the survival, and those are really important because Wind Dancer gives us more evasion rating with every stack, and Ghost Dance then uses that more evasion rating to give us energy shield recovery. At the current point, I'm sitting at 3,000 energy shield with 1,625 life. And my chest piece is good for the level. It gives us 110 max life. It could be 1,200 evasion rating and over 500 energy shield. Same goes for the helmet. It goes up to 6,800 energy shield possible, and we have no life, so that's a boost as well. We don't have evasion rating on our amulet. We don't have a lot of evasion rating on the boots. We're mostly making sure to get the resistances. For the rings, it is also all about getting a lot of flat damage, because the flat damage is a huge multiplier for the hollow palms. Same for the gloves. The more flat damage, the better, and ranks to melee skills. That's really what you're looking for. The real deal will be your passive tree though, and that's where you get a look at level 65 to 90. Because right now, I'm the full critical strike tree, but up to 65, you're not critical striking. Up to level 65, I've been focusing on all the flat damage bonuses, because the flat damage bonuses, they just work better. They're easier to execute. You don't have to worry about anything. The flat damage bonuses just simply work. You don't have the gear, you don't have the skill points, you can't go for critical strike as you're leveling. But as you then hit level 65, you're going to throw out your full evasion chest to get the energy shield evasion rating chest. You're going to get an energy shield helmet and preferable energy shield gloves. And suddenly your critical strike chance due to Hollow Palm will soar up. Your attack speed might go a bit down as you could already have 1,000+ evasion rating chest. But it's just better to start stacking the energy shield and the evasion rating both. Important on the monk is squishy. So we want to get some kind of defense in the beginning, right? We're getting the critical strike damage bonus here instead of the attack damage, and we're also getting the crit hit chance and the bonus as well. Choose intelligence and dexterity in the mix that you will require for your skills. Then we're going to actually go down because these here are extremely important. This will blind your enemies, therefore we're going to have more evasion rating because if your enemies are blinded and have less accuracy, they hit you less. And then you really want to take this note here. This gets you attack speed, then evasion rating if you have hit an enemy recently, and another 30% evasion rating and attack speed if you have hit an enemy recently. These are surprisingly huge and very useful. Then zoom all the way up to the Hollow Palm together with the bonus damage, because that one is 40% on full health, and you should be full health with your energy shield most of the time. And we're copying the Hollow Palm technique. Then the next most important thing to get is this over here. That's 1% critical hit chance bonus, but it's a +1. It doesn't multiply as you're up, it just adds on top of the Hollow Palm technique. And since we're gonna go past a lot of things, you really want to go up here, then zoom all the way over. Yeah, I know it looks bad, but that's again why you want to do this, as you then have the skill points to do this. And we're gonna be taking the bonus critical hit chance all the way with a +1 attack to critical. This later, the bonus here, we want as well, but not at the current moment. In order to have that defense up, you want to have the Spectral Ward. That gives you more energy shield per 12 evasion rating on the body armor. Now with 120 evasion rating, that's only 10 more energy shield. But you're not having 120 evasion rating, you have 800, 900 evasion rating. And that adds another 100 energy shield that then comfortably gets multiplied up. It's definitely worth it to go for it. The same as the note over here. Because with a high energy shield helmet, you get a lot of evasion rating that then works again for the bonus of your Ghost Dance. Next up, we definitely need to completely unlock this cluster. This is kind of like the mandatory level 65 way of doing things. We get some of the crit boosted massively. Then we get the defenses up with the evasion rating and the bonus evasion rating here, plus evasion rating and some basic critical hit chance while still maintaining a good flat damage bonus. And now we're going to flash things out. For example, you do want to have the bonus power charges up here and here. You can have more maximum power charges. But this is not important in the beginning. You hit mapping, you're going to beat bosses with your bell and with your normal hits anyways, and your Falling Thunder with a normal amount of power charges is going to be good enough. Later, you want more power charges for even bigger hits because it gets less annoying to maintain them. First, you want to have, though, more critical hit chance, and the same goes here for critical strike damage bonus with critical strike damage bonus and global reduced critical hit chance. Okay, annoying, but we're going to boost on the side here the critical hit chance as well up again for a bit less critical hit bonus. These are very good. Plus, we can get the bonus freeze build up and bonus damage against frozen enemies. Really, you're up here. You should take it. It's right up. Now, for real defense, you want the evasion rating, increased evasion rating, deflection, and then boom, we're also copying the bestial skin for 100% increased evasion rating from equipped body armor. This is now your defensive lineup. The last notes you could take for defense are right there, but I would probably start to get my power charges here first, and then I also would like to have the power charges with the lust for power. Let's not forget about the bonus attack speed, because attack speed is king, and this is a 10% done if you've been hit recently. Lastly, we're going to fix our defense, and that's round about where I am right now. What you could do in the next steps is we could get ourselves increased attack damage, even more power charges and critical strike damage bonus if you have consumed a power charge recently. Very powerful. Optimally, we would go all the way over here. Boom. Try to cop this node and try to also get this energy shield together then over here and down there. This would start the energy shield regen way faster, and it gives us another 30% and another 40% more energy shield. That is huge. This is a huge bonus. I don't have the skill points for this right now. It would be pretty much the final step for me to take over there where to invest all the rest of my points. Alternative, you can just take bonus energy shield and evasion rating here with a bit more movement speed if you feel like that is what you're looking for. You could flash out at this completely, 10%, 10%, another 30% evasion rating if you have been hit recently. However, that 40 and that 30 is quite massive. Now you might see one thing is different to the tree I've shown you, and that is here, damage, and decreased reservation on herald skills. Because I have one single herald skill that now costs 28, since I only have 188 spirit. Yes, I would need a chest piece that has 20 evasion rating more and 8 energy shield, okay? So we're looking at 933 evasion rating and 357 energy shield. Because then our passive will give me 2 more spirit, and I could save these points. It's a way to make up for not being able to use elemental conflicts, where elemental conflicts is, by the way, the least important one. You need to fix your Ghost Dance, Defense, Herald of Ice, Wind Dancer first, and you can play the Herald of Thunder until you get a big enough chest to play elemental conflicts. Very important. Our other ascendancy points are crit hit chance, critical hits ignore non-negative any monster's elemental resistance, crit hit chance, and lastly, elemental expression that's going to be triggered on melee critical hit. Elemental expression shoots out a fiery explosion, arcing bolts, or an icy wave. And that is amazing. We get our cooldown recovery, so they shoot out more fast because they have 0.19 cooldown or 0.25 cooldown. Then we have our self-elemental focus, Nova projectiles, they shoot out in every direction, and efficiency because they cost actually mana to use. Yeah, and that will drain you empty. That will completely deplete your mana reserves. It's quite annoying unless you fix your mana by going for the keystone over here called Walker of the Wilds. It says Mana Leech recovers based on elemental damage types instead of physical damage. That together with a glove or ring that says Leech physical damage as mana. As you not struggle for mana ever, because everything you do now leeches mana. This is probably the most important thing to pick up as you hit mapping. One single ring with Mana Leech, that keystone as you're going over there for the critical strike damage bonuses, and you're good to go. You almost never have to press your potion again. My last 2 Ascension points are going to go either into Meditate for that overcapping of your energy shield, or I'll just create bonus chilled ground together with more chill magnitude and 10% extra cold damage. Why haven't we ascended a 4th time yet? I did honestly try to do the Trials of Sechemes, just to notice that 4th floor feels super awkward as a monk. Yeah, without Grim Feast, I really didn't like it at all. What I'm doing instead is Trials of Chaos for the fragments. And I have to say, Trials of Chaos was an absolute breakthrough on the monk. My other characters, I really don't like it. I really don't like the Trials of Chaos. I'd rather do the Trials of Sechemes. But on the monk, the Trials of Chaos are just a slaughter feast. You just pummel everything. The bosses are not a problem. Even the bird boss felt so simple, especially with Falling Thunder. Because he hits you once with one of his stupid attacks, you get the power charges, and you're just like, oh, hello, Mr. Bird. Pff, get riddance, you little shit. You gotta do 3 of them, get all the 3 fragments, or just buy yourself the fragments right away from the currency exchange, and then you get your 4th Ascension. What would I need to do now to become massively stronger in my solo self-found journey? Well, obviously, getting a Force Gem on everything would help, and I should add that in the planner, so you have all the Force Gems available. I need more damage on the gloves. This is 7 to 14, but there are gloves that get a total of 80 flat damage. Yeah, 80 flat damage on melee skills, that would be great. More energy shield, way more evasion rating. More evasion rating energy shield, way more energy shield, and then even more flat damages on my rings. Those are the things that will just get me to the next level, that would truly explode my damage forward, because it scales my crit, it will scale my defense, I'll get more defense with the points over here, and suddenly I'll be an unstopping calamity. That's obviously now hours and hours and hours and hours of grind to then push us to that next level. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Hollow Palm technique, Ice Strike Monk, something for you? And how are you liking the technique for power charges? And if you get done with your monk, reach that level 90 and want to have something new, I got an amazing poison character for you that works even stronger than the monk and plays even simpler. Enjoy, take care.